Welcome, lady.
What an intro. We'll just leave it as that.
You'd think we'd got the hang of this by now in our third show.
I
I think I'm just going to hold the mic for the rest of the show.
That's just going to have to be our intro.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is DJ XX.
And I'm CJ Madden.
And this
Is
CJ
and
and
the
the
DJ.
DJ.
Slowly getting better at that.
Yeah. I think we just kind of stole our intro from the first episode. Haven't really
Yeah.
planned an intro for this one.
No.
Kind
The mic falling is the best intro we possibly could have
Yeah.
gotten.
Today's theme of the show is food. We all like food. We all eat.
I sure hope we all eat.
Do you eat?
I eat.
I eat.
Every day.
I eat probably a bit too
At
much.
least 3 times a day.
Judging
I
by
eat.
the old wobbles.
The wobbles.
The wobbles. That's what they call them. That's a sexy way to say I'm getting fat.
Look at my wobbles.
Wobbles are sexy. That's a sexy term. Trust
I don't know
me.
if I don't enjoy wobbles. Does not sound pleasing to the ear.
Alright, well, how's this for something pleasing to the ear? I've got a marvellous news story for you today.
Oh, yes, please.
Well, we all know the big famous banana. The Coffs Harbour big banana.
The big banana. Is that the one that's a banana and it's big?
Yeah.
You know bananas are actually berries.
I did.
Yeah.
Because they grow on a herb.
Yeah, so, more you know.
Well, you know.
This isn't the weird fact segment yet, though, so we can leave that until a bit later. Stay tuned for weird facts.
Let's hope you don't forget your weird fact again. Anyway, so the Coffs Harbour big banana is a, famous Australian landmark. I first learned about it through the Doonrat song, Dalai Lama, Big Banana, Marijuana.
I've been there many a times, and
You've
every
been
time...
to Marijuana?
No. I've been to the Big Banana, like, too many times to count. Like, I'm sure my parents could probably tell me how many times I've been, but I also just don't care how many times I've been. Because you go once, and you've been a lot of times.
Well, that's what you seem to think, isn't it? The Big Banana hasn't been changed in the 13 years it's existed. It's never been altered.
Has it only existed for 13 years?
My mistake is I'm not Australian, so you can't blame me. I've never seen it. But recently, Allen's Confectionery Company have launched a new sort of sweet, chocolate-covered bananas. And in celebration, they climbed on top of the Big Banana and covered it in brown syrup. So, yeah.
Was it real syrup that they covered it in?
It was syrup to cover it with. I don't know if it was edible, but it was...
Like, if it was actually something sticky, I feel like that would just make it look gross.
Well, now it's all brown.
Yeah.
Do you reckon
No one wants a brown banana.
Do you reckon it got bigger?
The big brown banana.
Do you reckon when they made it brown it got bigger, Caleb?
Oh dear, I don't want to think about that. Stop.
Anyway, we haven't been able, unfortunately, to try these sweets.
No, alas our great effort to find them.
We did walk around for like half an hour.
Long
Allen's,
time.
if you'd like to sponsor the show, totally willing to take
Absolutely.
sponsorships.
Yeah.
What do you think about a brand, though, purchasing, the right to cover it in syrup? Is that defamation? Is it the sort of secret of advertising taking over everything we hold sacred?
I don't know. I just think it's kind of gross.
It is a big banana, so...
That's literally... It's so, like... How much syrup do you think they would have used to cover that entire banana?
Enough to cover a real banana, at least. What other famous Australian landmarks can you picture being not deformed, but sort of used for advertising purposes? My mind draws to Ayers Rock being used by Cadbury to advertise Aero chocolate. Smear some toothpaste on there.
I don't
you get
think
the
that's allowed.
mint bubbly Aero chocolate.
It's advertising. Come lick all over, taste the flavors of our chocolate.
Or Big Ben. There's a pie brand called Big Ben's Pies.
Yes. So you could use... It's not an Australian landmark, but, the Big Ben clock tower.
Well, let's go global, baby. Tell me about some landmarks.
Some landmarks that you could use to advertise something. Let's see. You could do some really interesting stuff with the Opera House. Definitely. Like, I know, like, you already have this stuff like Vivid every year, but that's not really advertising. Imagine using the light show on the Opera House, like, just as advertising instead of just a light show. That is... It's free real estate right there. It's so open. It's so white. You could put almost anything on there and it'll catch people's eye.
Or, alternatively, you've got the Great Wall of China, which is essentially a big trench high in the air. You got pour like some nice orange juice down there.
Nice orange.
Some Mountain Dew maybe
Some people
pouring
just
from the
hanging
rivers.
at the bottom with their mouth open,
Or the
waiting
aqueducts.
for it to run into. Oh,
Imagine pouring Mountain Dew straight from the mountains down the aqueducts.
that would be incredible. I feel like the best part of that would be riding that along the entire way of that. Just in like a little
that
like
fits in with
floaty-
Mountain Dew's like extreme sports kind of brand. Also, Mountain Dew, we are using a green studio, so if you'd like to advertise,
We'll just make this the Great Wall of China. Easy done.
how are we going to do that,
I don't
Caleb? You ready for our today's fun facts?
I am ready for today's fun facts. I started with the first fact last time. Would you like to?
I would
Do the honours of
absolutely
beginning.
love to start with the fun fact this time. My first fact comes from revolutionary chefs from around the world.
Yes.
When you think of revolutionary chefs, who comes to mind?
Gordon Ramsay.
Would you say they're revolutionary, or would you just say they're well known? I'm thinking
I'd
people
probably
like
say maybe Jamie Oliver is a bit more revolutionary, especially for health food.
former MasterChef champion. Now, MasterChef is a game setting you up for a possible career, right? It's
Yeah.
not like singing or talent shows. You can go on from MasterChef and put that stuff on a resume. So Andy Lau, apologies if I'm pronouncing that wrong, is someone who won MasterChef and has now gone into the food industry to change things for the better.
Go on.
He's released a controversial trick to getting the perfect sausage sandwich. And yes, it's labelled controversial. Are you ready for this amazing, revolutionary standard of the sausage sandwich?
I'm unsure.
A classic Australian dish. Get this. He goes to a bakery,
Yeah.
gets a loaf of bread, and he asks them to slice it long ways. Isn't that fantastic?
I don't get it. What's going to
apparently,
change? You can't
it
get
wraps-
long sausage.
It wraps around. Well, sausages are already long.
Yeah, but they're
and the
long
bread's
enough
too
to fit on a
short.
piece of bread.
Well,
They hardly
apparently,
stick out
according
the
to
edges.
Andy, this is a real issue. Okay, and this is what the MasterChef
Does he
champion.
roll it up like a sausage roll?
He just, puts it in. Apparently, it fits better. I think this guy's just had bad experience with bread.
I just think, how did he win MasterChef?
By cutting the bread long ways.
Oh, God.
That's the solution to everything.
Just cut the long bread. We just need long bread.
We need
for
long bread.
everything.
It's like Bunnings. They had a bit of a revolutionary kind of standard with the sausage sandwich
With the onions.
with the onions.
the
They made it
bottom.
illegal to put the onions on top of the
It's
sandwich.
a slip hazard.
It's a slip hazard.
You wouldn't have the slip hazard with long bread. Let's be clear here.
Well, you could just wear your long bread as safety shoes.
Exactly. You wouldn't
Bread
slip.
is soft. It sucks up all the onion juices, so you're not going to be slipping,
Perfect.
are you?
And then you can eat it afterwards.
I have never, and I can say this very safely, I've never slipped on a piece of bread.
I have a fact. South Korea.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That is
Thank you
interesting.
for sharing
So-
that fact.
There are 7-Elevens in South Korea, as there is in most countries now. And as in most countries with a 7-Eleven, they also have their donuts that they sell at 7-Eleven. Yes,
Krispy Kreme.
that's it. South Korea has some particularly strange flavors for their donuts there. Specifically, glazed garlic and kimchi
Ooh.
donuts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we are in a green studio, which means 7-Eleven also
Would you like to sponsor us?
potential sponsor.
Yes.
Please.
Oh, and we'll
Please.
try your kimchi and your glazed garlic donuts.
I'm
if you
down for
sponsor
it,
us,
man.
Yes.
I reckon we got to do like a food challenge. I reckon we slice
bread
us up
long.
something wet. Slice the bread long.
Long bread. Do we have long sausage for the long bread?
We may not have disformed looking bread, but to segue into my next fact, we do have disformed looking apples now.
Oh.
Typically, big companies like Coles and Woolworths
Yeah.
really restrict like all the fruit that comes through, but because the farmers are getting less produce, they're now sort of releasing the whole standards,
Yeah.
and the ugly fruits are being eaten, which is great news for me because I consider myself an ugly fruit. But and I'm hoping that the dating scene will lower its standards as well. But yeah, and they're being loosened, so now we're going to be seeing a little bit bruised apples.
So, ketchup, as the Americans call it.
I think they are different products, tomato sauce
They
and
are,
ketchup.
but it's much more common over in the US
Mm.
as compared to here. You can still buy ketchup, but yes, they are separate things. It was initially when it was brought out into the market, it was actually used as a medication to help cure diarrhea.
Was it?
Yeah.
Does it work?
I don't know.
My next and final fun fact is about food, believe it or not.
Whoa.
Man vs. Food star Joey Chestnut, that is a real name of a Man vs. Food
What a
reality
name.
star, demolished recently 32 Big Macs in 38 minutes.
That's a lot of Big Macs.
He just did this on YouTube, and all up, that adds to 18,016 calories, which is more than the weekly adult intake in 40 minutes.
In 40 minutes. How sick do you have to be after that? Like, did he have to keep it down? Was it it was a competition, yeah?
No, he just
did it.
He just goes. Joey Chestnut just goes. Puts it in his chest. Comes out his nuts.
Chestnut.
That's how pooping works, right?
That was
That's how pooping works, right? I know how to poop.
How do you not? Shall I go to my third fact?
Please.
My third and final fact today is milt is... Well, milt is a fish product that is eaten around the world, and if you think that people eating fish eggs was something of a disgusting feat, then you will be surprised to hear that milt is in fact actually a delicacy, which is fish sperm.
Fish sperm?
Yes.
Sounds delightful.
No, I'm not quite sure.
A little bit salty,
if
but
they
it's
spread it on
seafood, so why not?
I'm not quite sure if they use it to spread on biscuits like they do with... It's caviar that they call fish
Caviar,
eggs.
yes.
Like they do caviar, which I'm not particularly a fan of to begin with. But just... Who thought that was a good idea?
Look, man, you're a vegetarian, I know, you might not understand this, but I'm a naturalist, right?
Yes.
If I'm getting an animal for purpose of eating,
Yes.
I like to make sure every part of that animal is used for a specific process.
Okay, I'll have you know, by the way, that technically fish sperm would still be vegetarian because it's a fish product, not a living part of
So you're
the
saying you
animal.
enjoy eating fish sperm?
I mean, I haven't eaten it, but technically I could eat it.
You could.
I could technically eat it.
Do you want to?
No.
It kind of reminds me, a couple of years ago, New Zealand has a wild food festival.
Oh, yeah.
And, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I love that enthusiasm. It has a wild food festival, and there were milkshakes there made out of horse semen.
Ew. Did you try it?
No.
You should have tried it. You should have known.
I didn't go to the wild food festival.
Why not?
Because I was a child, and I had school.
DJ XX, you are a bad co-host.
Co-host! Our final funny food story. Take 2, baby. Let's go. Our final funny food story for the friendly week. I can't think of an F word that starts with week. Friday to Monday period.
That's 2 days. 4 days, so that's...
Comes regarding the Thai, I wouldn't call it a delicacy, but it's a fan favourite. Sriracha sauce.
Love me some
I
sriracha.
love sriracha sauce.
So good. I love spicy food in general. So
But it's
good.
not just spicy, it's got flavour.
It does.
A lot of spicy sauces are just hot.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Sometimes heat is a good addition to food, but
But
sometimes you want
sriracha's
flavour.
nice, it's smoky.
So good on almost anything. Nachos especially, so good on nachos. So good. Yum.
You ever just cut off a slice of cheese, spread some sriracha on there?
I have.
That's a
yes,
snack.
That is good.
That's-
Biscuit as well.
That's a
cheese,
snack. You're a
biscuit,
snack.
sriracha. So good.
However, you might not want to get that excited because sriracha is being recalled across Australia over fears of exploding bottles,
There's got to be something going on. There's some
Which,
kind of terrible chemical reaction.
burning people's skin as they land.
Ooh. That's not good.
That's
yeah.
scary, dude.
That recall is probably very necessary.
Sriracha's quite hot.
It is quite hot, but still quite tasty. Not on my skin though. Right.
I want you to picture this, right?
Yes.
World War III.
Yes.
We're going in. We've got rifles made out of exploding sriracha sauce. We've got bayonets by every fruit we can find in Coles, little needles sticking out of them. We've got landmines and grenades made out of Samsung phones, which are just exploding as they were a couple of years ago. And we're jumping out of Fortnite battle buses. Well, this has been a lovely show. Thank you all for joining us this week. My name is DJ XX.
And I'm CJ Madden.
And I won't be talking to it anymore. Join me next week for a new co-host.